Do you think that looking attractive is a priority to you in this life stage that you're in?
No, not at all.
And why is that?
It's not my concern. I don't mind age.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind, when I was growing up, I was, 125 pounds until I was 28. Now I'm quite a lot more. But, I don't know, my whole life I'm an actor, so I don't really care about looks. I care about finding the carriage of the person or this. So for myself, this is just how I am now, and I don't mind it.
And when you look at people your age, what do you think or to you as well, what do you think are the most important aspects of health to you? Like, what do you think about when you think of your health?
Oh, wow. I don't know. First of all, I've never been one person who goes, oh, I want to live forever.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of hate that. I mean, like when they say, oh, well, Mark, you smoke, you could get cancer. I'm like, yeah, well, if I don't, it's not like I have another way out, like I'm not going to die. So, I don't know. It's never, health-wise, okay. Just that I can serve students and come to school and
Mm-hmm.
do what I can for as long as I can.
What do you think are your special talents and skills? What are you good at in anything?
Well, I think I'm good at teaching. I care about the student learning much more than I do their grades. I just want them to learn because I know the business they're going to go into is nightmarish, and it's going to be all rejection. So I think I'm good at that. I think I have a good sense of humor. I like being made fun of and making fun of everyone. I just think right now everyone takes everything too serious, and I think that's just a waste of time. What else? I think I've got a good heart. I do care. I still have passion. What did J.D. Salinger? I'm still in love with the Yorick skull, and I want an honorable skull when I die. So just that idea. Yep.
Yeah. Do you think your memory and quickness of mind has changed with your age?
Yeah, I think it has. Like, I'll forget things a lot more, but I also feel things a lot more now when I'm directing, or when I'm doing something. So even though it's not as quick, it's actually full of more thought and more passion and more feeling, I think.
Yeah, and that's due to like having more experience.
Having more experience, right. So I forget dates and everything. Or used to be, I could tell you every Academy Award winner there was. Now I can tell you why every movie affected me better,
Do you have any activities that you engage in to keep yourself or to keep yourself intelligent or to work your brain?
Crosswords.
Crosswords.
I do. I do a lot of crosswords, and I read a lot. Do I do anything else? No, I still like when Aaron, one of the teachers, was here last year, we'd still go, okay, what was this movie about? And I can still tell you things about movies that nobody knows. I just happen to, my mind is also full of useless trivia, but I like it.
So moving on to your personality and relationships. I know you touched on it a little bit, but is there anything you don't like about your personality and do like about your personality?
What don't I like? Anxiety. I put myself through anxiety. I don't like to let people down. I don't like to let this down. I like to be on top of things. At the same time, I don't like tension in any situation. So, of course, but I'm also anal retentive and want everything the way I want it. So I don't like that about me. Things I like, pretty easygoing for someone who's so tense all the time. It doesn't make sense, but it does.
Yeah. That makes sense. Do you still have goals and interests at this age, and have they changed much since you were younger?
Oh, yeah. When I was younger, of course, I wanted to be an actor, win an Academy Award, and then I started teaching. I was like, I like sharing this. And then now it's going, my future is not this. My future is students having a future now, and that's really what drives me now. You know, there's still people here that it's different. When I first came here, working with students was so important. Then the school grew, and it became like, well, you have to show you're important. I'm like, but my students are doing the first 2 tours of Hamilton. I'm pretty happy with what I've done. I know you don't find that as important, but you're going to count that what did I do? I did one shot of a movie that was SAG and whatever, and that counted more than directing 6 weekends, 6 weeks of a play. So I think people's priorities and bureaucracies have gotten different, but I just now know students are my future, and to make them the future. And I think that's what I always thought. I mean, that's the highest responsibility of any college or university as a student. Sometimes I think that gets lost a little.
Guys, have you ever been married or have had children or anything in your life?
Not that I know of. No. No, I haven't. No.
And was that a decision you made?
I did have some relationships, but at the same time, when I was younger, I kept going, you got to be careful, because this is what your goals are, this is this. And not many people understand theater people and whatever. And then when I was teaching my first time, I realized they were my children. And even if I got in a relationship, my fear was, I don't know if I could share teaching
with
yes,
yes,
who needs me more?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because when I was young, they kept putting me on a pedestal, and I hated that. I wasn't what they thought. And now I'm like, thank God students don't put me on a pedestal. They can make fun of me. They can do this because I make mistakes, but I like it that better.
What's it like since you're still working? Like, how is that? What you said, it kind of like drives you, that gives you your purposes.
No, I hate the term working. Doing a university, some of it, that's working. Working, being with students is never the working. That's what drives me. It's working with students, knowing how scary it is, how they're going to fail, and knowing enough to go, don't push them too much because I'm not a psychiatrist, I can pull them back. But knowing enough, okay, you can go this far. It's that thing, I don't want anyone thinking of their dead puppy when they're on stage.
Yeah.
Because I'm always going, you might not be over that. What I can teach you is to open yourself up to emotions. Go to movies, cry in movies. Just open yourself up so when emotions are available to when you start acting. Yeah.
Do you find yourself reflecting on your past much, and do you look towards the future as well? Or do you find yourself more like in the moment?
I look at my past, but not with many regrets. Things I should have done, like this sounds stupid, but I was born in Brooklyn, and so I spent so much time in New York that when I was getting these offers to leave New York, I was terrified to leave New York because I thought that's where everything happened, not now seeing what really happens in the world. I should have just left all the time to discover new things. I'm not a kind of future planner. I mean, because I know there's nothing I really want to travel the world or do that. I'm pretty easy going that way. I'm like, okay, yeah. I'll go visit some friends, like I meet the same 5 friends every year because they're from my grad company and we've just fell in love and stayed together. And that's like the goals. We go, okay, what are we doing next 5 years? Otherwise, then I'm just fine.
Being your age, it can be specific to yourself, or you can just notice it as being in your age. Do you find that you have prejudices in like the workforce or other places?
I think those have gone away more. What's happened is I don't know if I like the world as much as I used to, but that's just stupid. It's probably me getting smarter, or me seeing there's so much hatred going on right now, which my younger days, either I was oblivious to or I wasn't, but it didn't seem so tense, and didn't seem that everyone has to be right. There used to be more compromise. I just don't feel that anymore.
sense. Looking back, what kind of drove you to choose like this profession? What made you decide like that was where you wanted to go? Or some things that...
Yeah, I think, I guess we all had to think about performing. I performed when I was in second grade.
Mm-hmm.
And then in high school, I performed, but then I started dancing. And I actually liked dancing a lot. But then my parents were pretty strict that if you're going to do one, you have to learn them all. So then I had to learn singing, I had to learn this. But I realized I never liked doing any of them by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I like it all and combined in one. Somehow I was accepted to NYU into their MFA program from high school for dance. And I went, no, because I don't like to just dance.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started liking theater a lot more. And so, I guess, I think it always starts kind of selfish because it's performing, look at me. And then by this age now, you're going, don't look at me. Let me just do my job. I like rehearsal better than performing.
Mm-hmm.
I like learning about myself much more and other people than I... Because then once the show starts, you're not allowed to change. You're not allowed to do anything. You know, so... That I... When I was a kid, see me.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, don't look at me. I want to work a little more.
So with your performing as when you were younger, did you think of it as like an escape of sorts?
Oh, yeah.
Or from like things that...
No, it was escape.
Or just something that you like to do?
Well, I started also in design tech, so I just liked the fact that this thing was being created where it wasn't there before.
Mm-hmm.
And how much effort it took of multiple people in different areas than just, again, when I dance, whatever. You're thinking about, I liked how everything came together, and if this person doesn't work or that domino doesn't work, everything starts to fall. So I just kind of liked, that's it. I like the community environment of it.
Mm-hmm. And is that community what kind of kept you in it for all these years?
Yes. And at certain times drove me away for it because, I mean, again, when you're in New York and you're not working, losers love hanging around with you because they're like, I'm not working either, it's okay. And I always had in the back of my mind, no, it's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get like that. I always have to look for the work and go for the work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're almost done. But
yeah.
what do you like to do for fun, or what are things that you like to do just in general, like anything?
I'm definitely like to get a beer with people and talk about the arts and talk about the world and talk... well, like when I was first, I went to a place called Purchase, which was very old back then, so I was in company number 6. And what happened is there was only artists, actors, dancers, musicians, design tech. So I remember going, oh, okay. I don't know if I'd ever do that again. I'd go back to grad school for that. But what happened is, like, when I first got out of college, and the first show I got in was Mother Courage. It was about 100 Years War, and I didn't know what that was because they didn't have any liberal arts and stuff. So I started living at New York Public Library. I liked that part of it. So, yeah, and the community always helped it. But I like having a beer with other people or just hearing everyone's point of view. There's just something about, and not that I'm studying them, because I do like to study people, because that's what my job is, but there's just something now I find fascinating about everyone, because I don't think so few people are not trying their best. It might not be working, but, you know, I like knowing that. What else do I like? Movies, of course. I do like, I grew up, so if I was to go visit something, I like a city better than I like a beach. I like cold better than I like hot, so I don't know why I'm in Florida.
Me too.
But, I don't know, I like to be occupied with my eyes and watch everything. I just always have. Yeah. Oh, my favorite thing? When you said things there was something. I grew up, I was a horrible child, I was a brat. I'm very hyper, but there was a beach club across the street from me. And we didn't have that much money. And this place was expensive, but they let us in for free because they kept screwing up the water. Because you know, with pools and everything, and just there was always sewage, just water problems. But my parents would let me out at 7 in the morning, and I get home at 11 at night, and I'm only 8 years old. They just loved me to get out there, so I loved. That's when I did love the beach. I just loved this whole, because I grew up not understanding the 1960s.
Yeah.
So, you know, I remember the first one, a POW bracelet, and not knowing what that was, and all this stuff, and two people had gone to Woodstock, and I didn't know what it was. 1968, so I'm 9. And it was just really cool. It was a really cool time to grow up. I remember just on the jukebox. I don't even know that's a term anymore. But, come on, baby, light my fire. I'm going, and watching old people dance to this. Now they're only 40. But them trying to dance, I'm going, laughing at them. And now I'm going, well, it was just a different time.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else you would like to add about how you think, like, being your age now is different from other people? Like, what sets you apart with your age through other based on others?
I think I'm luckier because I stayed in a career that you still have to pretend. And so, you know, that's kind of, basically, I've stayed not a child, but now I'm trying to get back to the fact, you know, or back to the point when, you know, you're a kid, you play cowboy and Indians, you actually believed it. Now I spend my life trying to pretend that good again. But it is funny. We go there, we're playing other people. It's just, when you really look at it, it's kind of stupid. But back then it was for fun. Now it's to go, wow, I have to do this person justice. They might have lived. How do I do them justice? It's like I always go, if someone ever played me, like if ever there was a play, you know, I'd go, I'd hope they do me justice. And so now my thing is not to let the character down. I'm trying to find everything that's going to show everything you are, but with justice.
Alrighty, thank you.
You got it. Did I fail?